We've never had a campaign in which both candidates had negatives above 50%.
This year's election has been one of the most controversial that America has ever seen. From lewd statements to email scandals, news and media coverage is at its peak. For presidential nominee Donald Trump, that coverage has been priceless. He has received at least $3 billion worth of free publicity. Many news organizations admit that they have struggled with journalistic bias and fairness while covering this election. Although it is the news media's responsibility to cover the election, voters have the choice to decide against viewing and supporting this coverage.
It's Election Day, and I went to several voting polls around the Washington, D.C. area to see how voters feel about the media coverage of election 2016.
I really got tired of the commercials and the news coverage because a lot of Donald Trump's commercials, they were false, and his antics and everything about him, I got tired of seeing it on TV. So every time it would come on, I would change the channels.
I think that the media's coverage of the election this year has been a bit subpar. I think they focus more on how Hillary and Donald have been attacking each other rather than their policies and their issues and their solutions to these problems that we have in the country.
I think I try to avoid the media when possible, just because I think over the last several years in particular, it's become incredibly biased depending on what source you're paying attention to. So I'd say when I am focused on the media, it tends to be more towards print than television.
With the polls closing today, this marks the end of media coverage for election 2016. For NewsVision, I'm Cassidy Sparks.